What's up? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I'm Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me have some more RPG horror stories. I got a question for the ones that build character and like focus on character builds. Do you build on vibes alone? Have you ever vibe built before? By vibe building, what I mean is you go with a particular vibe that kind of just fits the character archetype you're gonna go with, and you build around that. I have a look with the cleric of nature that primarily uses a club with a shillelagh. I grab a couple of feats as well, like magic initiate, in order to give myself booming blade in order to enhance the club damage in particular, and just to make him stronger. Obviously using other spells and stuff, and building a competent character is important too. Just building around the vibe alone and building around that, it's just really neat. I don't know, maybe it's not vibes, maybe I'm actually just doing character building how it should be. Anyway, how do you build your characters? While you're answering that in the comment section, let's get some building questions and building based stories for today. Game Store DM, let his friend be Omnipotent. There's enough time that has lapsed during which I think I can post it. I joined a local D&D group, very excited, with a friend. We're both excited to play a little extra on top of our other session, and for the game was advertised as friendly to newcomers. Great, right? When we arrived, we both had characters prepared, but we also offered sheets. My friend took a sheet, semi-prepared was a sorcerer, and overall vibe was very enthusiastic. Yes please, we need a full caster. We learned this in mid-sesh, but DM is fantastic, and our characters are both found tied up in a dungeon. This to say the DM is doing well. I'll skip to the horror now. I can't remember exactly what we were playing, but every time this teeth-smacking, lean-backing, actually guy was playing the most obnoxious character. A cleric who had access to every spell, literally ever, regardless of level. This happened all the time. It was insufferable. If the other players, 3 others, attempted to do anything, this cleric would have already dealt with it. I think it was because they had a library, why not wizard, to spawn out crazy spells. This guy would lean back in his chair, roll for nothing. He would ask the DM, his well-meaning friend, if he should just finish it, because his character was so OP that he never rolled. DM, granted, saw my absolute disgust via my in-game challenges, as this guy said, yoink, verbally, take something from me, and a stab that he had to do a contested check. I won the check, and he was bitter. DM said they would be harsher on the guy's character creation in the future, but I can't imagine how bad it was for the other people involved for longer. DM also cut us off last session because it was only fighting because they wanted to move to the homebrew. Like, fighting after you level up is half the fun. That was over about 4 sessions. Okay, hold on a second. So what you telling me is everybody else is playing, everybody is having fun, but nobody spoke up about clearly the overpowered player that can just do anything, cast any and every spell because they're a cleric or something, or the DM's friend. Favoritism is a problem, guys. Favoritism is a problem. I need to point that stuff out, and I'm honestly embarrassed that the other players didn't point that out to the DM, saying, hey DM, how come cleric, the well actually guy, can just do whatever he wants and we don't have to do that? Like, why don't we get all the spells and we could just be super powerful? How come you just all letting your buddy do that? Some DMs should probably have a bit of a backbone when it comes to, like, you know, giving their friends like favoritism and everything. And there's indeed some favoritism that some DMs exude, where they want to give their buddies and friends all the coolest, best stuff ever and stuff. But you can't do that. You literally simply cannot do that. The only way to be a good DM is to be a fair DM. Make sure that nobody feels favorited and everybody feels equally involved with the DM. Don't completely be antagonistic to your players, but don't make one player specifically stand out as the favorite. Make everybody feel involved in some way, in some capacity. Look for ways to get the other players involved in some capacity, in some way, at all time possible. Because otherwise you get a situation like this where the guy just actually can just do whatever he wants and cast whatever spell he wants, because it becomes the bestest ever without needing to do anything whatsoever. The whole fun is to play a challenging character that can actually do something and needs to roll for successes or failures. The whole fun is rolling. If you don't want to roll, write a book or go play Skyrim in God mode or something and just be able to just console command kill everything and everyone, you know. Anyway, let's continue with the next story for today. My toxic ex-best friend ruined 3 campaigns. Let's call this friend Anna. At the time of the story takes place, Anna was my best friend. I recently ended our friendship for reasons unrelated to D&D, but it was sort of a straw that broke the camel's back situation, of which Anna's actions during D&D contributed to. Campaign 1. Anna was not original part of this campaign, and oh how I wish it had stayed that way. It was my freshman year of college, and I joined my school's D&D club. We're put into different campaigns based on how we answered questions in a survey. I have nothing bad to say about my group. They were great. Our group originally had 5 players, but one player eventually had to drop out due to her schedule. Enter Anna. I was like, well, I got a friend who I think would have fun. Can I invite her to the group? Everyone said yes. I'm so sorry, guys. Anna spent the entire game on the phone, texting, or on a laptop doing schoolwork, rarely engaged with the game or the table, and often straight up fell asleep during the game. I brought this up to her in private and she deflected, basically blaming everyone else. The DM had a boring campaign. She found one of the other girls really annoying. Everyone took too long to make decisions, etc, etc. I told her I wouldn't be offended if she stopped playing with us because it didn't seem like she was having fun. She freaked out and got really offended and I backed off. Well, the semester ended. That so did the campaign. I later found out through one of the other players that the rest of the group had decided to keep playing without us and that I had not been invited back due to Anna. And honestly, fair enough. If you're not gonna participate, why be in the first place? Just so you can be part of a clique or a group or something? If you're not gonna participate in the game, don't be part of the game. Clearly Anna doesn't like the other players, so why are they staying there? I bet they're staying there just because they can just have like a place to just do whatever. Maybe it's convenient for them to just be in the club and do the homework, catch some Z's and stuff. If you want to do that, go home. So this is where the timeline might get a bit messy, as campaign 3 started only a little bit after the campaign 2 and 3 ran simultaneously at one point. The events that happened in campaign 3 are what ultimately ended campaign 2. So in this section, I'll just go over the ways that Anna was a problem player. So this is my campaign that I was a DM of, and I got together a group of my friends. Anna 20 female, Natalie 21 female, Kara 21 female, Justin 22 female, Jake 22 female, and me 20 female. I changed all the names for privacy reasons. So this was my first time DMing and I definitely made some mistakes. The first of which was having people roll for those stats. About 3 sessions later, I changed the rule to everyone could choose to use the stats or whoever had rolled the highest, but for those first 3 sessions, Anna constantly complained that Natalie's character was stronger than everyone else's. That would be passive aggressive towards Natalie or would visibly shut down during games to show she was upset. To be honest, everyone's stats was pretty balanced. Natalie just ended up rolling in an 18, but other than that, her stats were normal. Anyways, I saw that the easy solution was to let everyone have matching numbers. So everyone got to start with an 18. It didn't break the game or anything. Anna played a wild magic fairy sorcerer. Cool concept, but I tried to advise her into playing a different class. Every game she had ever played, she played a sorcerer, and I thought maybe she'd have fun playing something else. Also, in the last game I played with her, she played a sorcerer and constantly complained about spell slot management, as well as never touching her sorcery points because she didn't want to use her resources, which fair and valid, but obviously you don't like casters. Anyway, she didn't listen and played a sorcerer and spent the entire game not touching sorcery points, not using her spell slots, complaining about not having HP, complaining about feeling weak, and complaining about how Kara's barbarian and Natalie's paladin did more damage than her. I offered to her many times to switch her class, but she always refused. If you don't like to play as a spellcaster, here's a brilliant no-brainer solution. Don't play spellcaster. Simply do not play spellcaster if you don't want to deal with spell slot management. Come on! Like, go play a rogue or something. That might be a little bit easier for you or something. I don't know. Not that rogue is easier per se, but at least you don't have to like manage spell slots. Just don't play spellcaster. Play anything else. Monk, fighter, barbarian. I was about to say ranger, but that still has spells technically, so no, don't play ranger. Play, I don't know, play a goofy little rogue or something, a goofy monk or goofy fighter. I don't know, the party could use something like that potentially. I almost never targeted her or did damage to her. The few times I did, she'd get pissed and call it unfair and complain it just wasn't worth the headache. Luckily, her character was often backlines and flying, so it made sense not to target her, but she definitely annoyed to have to baby her. There were even times I'd secretly lower enemies' AC because I knew how pissed she'd get when she missed. Like, genuinely would ruin the entire energy of the game because she would get mad and either go silent or get passive aggressive or even cry. I suggested magic missile or AoE spells, but she didn't want to use spell slots, just kept using firebolt, getting upset when she missed and that she didn't do very much damage. Girl, you should have just told her, listen, you're either using the spells or using these particular spells I can recommend, or just stop playing the game. If they're getting upset to the point where they're crying because they're missing, yeah, it's gonna happen. This is a game of chance and luck and probabilities and stuff. Sometimes you're gonna miss, sometimes you're gonna hit. I get it sucks missing a lot of times, like missing back to back to back, but sometimes it literally just happens. It's just part of the game. Stop using things where you miss. miss, use saving throws instead if you really want to try to hit with all your spells and stuff. I don't know. Like, she's complaining because she's playing the game and then playing with the game's mechanics and complaining about the game's mechanics. If you don't like the game's mechanics, don't play the damn game. I don't know what else to say to somebody. If you want to miss, don't play the game or use saving throw spells. Or like OP suggested, magic missile. That always hits every time unless you use shield. That's the only time it will not hit. All right, let's get into the drama Anna had with the table. She was insanely jealous of Natalie. Natalie is beautiful and smart and funny, so obviously Anna was jealous of her. Natalie had also done the egregious and unforgivable act of kissing a guy at a party. No, literally Anna was upset about this. Did she like the guy? No. She was just jealous because she wanted to be kissed at said party. She cried about it to me when I suggested that I didn't think it was Natalie's intention to make Anna feel ugly, worthless, and unlovable, that Anna didn't even like this guy. Well, obviously, I was the bad guy and should have just comforted and supported her. Anna sounds like a pick me, choose me. Pick me, choose me. I want to have all these experiences. How dare the other girls have these kind of experiences? I want to have these experiences before anybody else can. Anna sounds like a pick me. Anna sounds like an obnoxious individual just to be around. You should have completely cut her out of your life long ago, because clearly they have other priorities in life that honestly should not be yours. You should not have to baby Anna, please. You're not Anna's friend. You're Anna's babysitter that can come crying too, which is embarrassing. Justin is Anna's ex, was still in love with her, which Anna knew and constantly took advantage of. They stayed close friends, and Anna would call and text him almost every day if she was feeling lonely, and then crap talk him to me behind his back. I don't know, there was just always drama there because there were weeks she hated him and found him annoying, or would cancel D&D because she didn't want to see him. But then next week they were fine and hooking up, so it was super up and down. Honestly, tried to insert myself in the situation. Dude, this girl is a ball of chaos. In her 20s too. Like, I get it. You literally just, like, you know, just became an adult and everything. But still, this is embarrassing for an adult woman to do now. Your friend sounds like they're perpetually stuck in high school. I think your friend, while they're of age now, is perpetually stuck as a high school drama queen. And these are the kind of people you just, I just recommend avoiding. They peaked in high school, and whatever they became in high school is whatever they are in high school, like whatever they become afterwards, and it's just not a good look. Like, she's still permanently stuck in high school mentally, and everything got to be some sort of like a high school-esque kind of like vibe, like from crying over somebody kissing somebody at the party. Like, jealous over that? Really? What? I don't know, man. I feel like most people would be more worried about paying bills and stuff instead of this. I don't know. Anna sounds coddled. Jake is a super nice guy. He's just a little direct and confrontational, which didn't mesh well with Anna because she's a nasty person who can't deal with being called out. Basically, at a party, Anna made a mean joke which hurt Jake's feelings. He texted her about it. She ignored him. He then, at the beginning of one of our D&D sessions, pulled Anna aside to talk to her about it. Well, she spent the first hour crying in her room while Justin comforted her, and eventually just canceled the session, told everyone to go home because I didn't think that it'd be coming down soon. Then I went upstairs to check on her and just listen when she called Jake horrible things. Campaign 3. This is when things get insanely bad. So Carrie decided she wanted to start her own game and DM. She invited me, Anna. No, don't invite Anna, Justin, and her friend Sam, 19 male. At first things were great. I played a silly little guy, Paz Abracadabras, a kobold warlock who believed he was a wizard. Well, Sam also played a silly little guy, a goblin cleric obsessed with money. Both put on stupid little voices for our characters, and only mentioned this because later bothered me that our characters were so similar. I kinda instantly had a crush on Sam. I thought he was cute and funny. Well, one day after D&D, me and Anna are walking home together, and I mentioned that I think Sam is cute. She agrees and we laugh about it. Mind you, at this time, Anna is completely obsessed with a different guy, so I don't think anything of it when she agrees Sam is cute. Well, fast forward a little bit, Sam and I are drunk at a party. We end up making out. Anna gets insanely jealous, calling me a bad friend, saying that I'm horrible for kissing him at a party when I knew it was her dream to be kissed at a party. That I'm a PDF file? He was 19 and I was 20. And a bunch of other horrible things, and I think I knew she liked him. It was a horrible and unfair fight, but we worked it out. He asked me to be his Valentine. I say yes. Then he insinuates he wants to date me. I'm head over heels and have a very romantic Valentine's Day. Then come to find out that Anna and Sam are flirting behind my back, sending explicit pictures and planning to hook up. Yeah, so kinda crazy breach of girl code, that sucked. And D&D was horrible and awkward moving forward. I retired Paz because I didn't want to be like Sam's character, then eventually left the game altogether not wanting to be around them. Scheduling issues kind of ruined my campaign 2, and I just didn't have the heart to restart it because somehow I was still Anna's friend and she's miserable to play D&D with, and we were roommates, so kind of hard to run a game and not invite her. I should have ended the friendship many times. I know, especially after the Sam drama, but I'm loyal to a fault and it took way too long. I also take responsibility for never truly standing up to her and letting her act that way she did during D&D. I'm glad I finally ended our friendship, and I'm much better at setting boundaries now, as well as not tolerating toxic behavior. If you stuck around this long, thanks. TLDR. Best friend played a sorcerer even though she hated being a sorcerer, was rude and had to be baby during D&D, as well as creating drama with every person at the table, most notably sleeping with a guy I was going out with behind my back. Okay, yeah, Anna sounds chaotic, and honestly, I don't want to OP blame, but you should have dropped Anna like a bad joke, like a bad sack of potatoes, like a rotten sack of potatoes months ago. Like seriously, this is a toxic person to be around. If you're gonna be playing D&D with specific people, you should only have people that actually want to play. Clearly Anna doesn't want to play. They're treating this as a way for them to socially interact with other people, maybe be the set of attention or whatever they got going on. If the player is literally sobbing at the table because they missed an attack roll and it just ruins their entire day, and that's why they're gonna make it everybody else's problem, you should just boot them. You should just boot her early on from the start. Told her, listen, I don't think D&D's for you. Don't come in next session. Just don't play with us. We don't want you at the table. This is just not worth it. You can still be friends with Anna. You just have to play D&D with Anna. But also, I feel like Anna is just a very horrible person to be around because they get jealous over the most innocuous things, and because of the jealousy, they basically go after the guy that you like and try to flirt with the guy while you still, like, you know, kind of getting together, breaching girl code. And yeah, it sucks. Anna sounds like a chaotic and horrible person to have at the table, but also a horrible person to interact with in general, because they allow the jealousy and the selfishness be the dominating factor in any kind of interaction possible, which is insane. Getting jealous and having a meltdown because somebody else got to kiss somebody and you didn't sounds insane. Everybody is drunk. It wouldn't be that difficult to find somebody to make out with. Everybody's inhibitions are already debilitated already as it is. Everybody is drunk. They're not thinking straight. They're not thinking clearly. It wouldn't be that difficult to find a makeout partner at a party. But also the actions over at the D&D table also abhorrent. Somebody should have said something. This happens because nobody brings this up. Somebody should have early on pointed out and said, hey DM, I don't like how Anna's doing X, Y, and Z. And then something should have been done about it. Something should have been addressed. None of it was ever addressed. None of it was ever addressed. And I think the biggest problem comes with it because Anna's behavior was never addressed at the table or even made in question. I get it. You're trying to be nice to your friend and everything, but not every friend that you know is going to be good for D&D or TTRPGs. And that's some important lesson to learn. Just because your friend doesn't mean they're going to be a good mesh for D&D. There are a lot of my friends that I don't invite to D&D or even talk about D&D. I didn't even consider inviting my brother to try D&D ever before that because I didn't think he would be a good, a good player to this. I had no idea that he was even interested in D&D and stuff. It just recently when he and I played Baldur's Gate that I was like, you know what, actually he might be a good fit. Let's see if he would like it. Turns out he's a great fit. But like not everybody's going to be a good fit. Some people are just not a good fit at the D&D table. They don't know how to play TTRPGs well with others. They don't know how to be good with others and stuff. So therefore you don't invite them. Clearly Anna with their problem behavior should have been removed from a table long ago. This is a lesson for the future to say if somebody is not a good mesh at the table, you don't invite them to the table or you remove them from the table. This should be nipped in the butt after the first campaign. First campaign, shame on Anna for not being a better player. Second campaign, shame on you for not addressing this early on. Campaign 3 is what happens when nobody ever addresses the problem player or gets him to pipe the fuck down. In a sense, you kind of chose yourself to be around Anna, fully knowing full well that they're an extremely toxic individual. But because you're being nice and wanted to be their friend, you completely didn't see the forest for the trees and you decided to completely ignore Anna's toxic traits. Anna is not a good person to be with or around or do anything with. Anna is toxic as hell, which, now that I think about it, it's kind of funny because I knew an Anna back in high school and she was also toxic. Not this level of toxic, at least I don't think so. I don't think she was ever into TTRPGs and stuff, but she'd also get extremely jealous and stuff. I kind of feel like I feel a little bit bad because I feel like I'm attacking this individual from my previous life and stuff, but like also I don't feel bad because also we're jealous, immature individuals that would just get upset over literally anything in the world. And you know what? Both deserve to have this addressed, or if not addressed, removed from the game. Life is already difficult as it is. Don't force your life to be even more difficult by allowing problem players ruin your fun. Do not let problem players ruin your fun ever in any capacity, in the slightest, for any reason whatsoever. Focus on your own well-being first and foremost, and don't be around problem players, please. At the end of the day, we have a big lesson to learn. If you have a problem player, you need to address their behavior at the table, and if the behavior doesn't get better, remove them early on before it becomes a problem later down the line. A problem player that's not willing to change, it's only going to continue making problems for the table, and that's not going to be fun or good or respectful or beneficial for the table or any of your players. And with that, that's going to be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales Tomorrow. Bye-bye.